Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome to our live stream on YouTube and Facebook. And just click the button to go live on Instagram. So I am here today. My name is Karen, and I am with the Teaching English social media team. And I am here with Maria.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Maria. Today we are talking about our theme for this next 3 months of April, May, and June, understanding your context. And it's a little bit of a broad theme. It's a new theme that's an amalgamation of a couple of different themes. So today we will be delving into what does understanding your context mean to you and what resources we have on offer to help you. So let's start. Maria, where are you? And tell us a little bit about your teaching.
Yeah, so I am in Melbourne, Australia. And yeah, it's really interesting because I've worked in so many different contexts, but currently, I have 2 teaching jobs currently. And one of them is teaching international students who are on study abroad. It's part of their study abroad program. So they're primarily students from Japan, and they come over for anywhere between 6 months to 12 months. And they're studying general English. Some of them are going on and doing a semester as well at the university. So it's been quite a unique experience for me, this one.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, well, teachers watching, where are you teaching? Do you teach in a state school, in a private school, in big classes, small classes? How often do you teach? Tell us about your teaching context. For me, I teach at the local high school, and I do 2 kinds of classes. One is I teach gardening in English to first years. I do that twice a week. And the other one is conversation classes for the last year, 2-year groups at school. They're 16. So we do conversation classes. And yeah, that's a little bit, it's a state school, high school. Classes are about 28 to 30 in a class, but as the years go up, the classes get smaller. So I want to just say a few hellos to people who are joining. We've got Gertrude from Ghana. Hello, welcome. And we have good morning to you too. And here's John from London. Hi, John. And hi, Tanya. And here we've got from YouTube. Welcome. And all of everybody who's joining us on Instagram. Lots of people joining us on Instagram. So wonderful to see you all here, and help us understand a little bit more about your teaching context. So Maria, I was thinking about what this means and the teaching context, and sort of breaking it down into like classroom level, school level, and maybe policy level, or sort of general context at a higher level, like your curriculum and things like that. So for you at the classroom level, how do you find out, how do you get to know your students? Because, if we know the students and we know about our classroom context, that can help us maybe manage behavior or adapt our teaching a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. So important to know your learners very well, because it can have a big impact on how we're able to teach, what we choose to teach as well, the techniques we employ in the classroom, and so on. And so for example, my classes at the moment, my students can, because it's part of their program, they have to do a study abroad. That's part, like it's a compulsory part of their university degrees. Often the motivation levels can vary. So that's one thing that I need to be aware of. So finding out about my learners is extra important. So I need to know what their interests are, what they enjoy doing in the classroom, so that I can adapt the lessons and make sure that they're going to be as engaged as possible. Because, as I say, motivation can sometimes be an issue. But yeah, also the numbers. I mean, even the fact that I have for the very first time in a long time monolingual classes. So I have
Interesting.
classes with just students who all speak the same language, and that also has an impact on what you do, how you can do it. Often my students are quite shy to speak to each other in English in the classroom.
Mine
So,
too.
yeah.
I also have a monolingual class,
Yeah.
and most of the time, I've had a varied in my teaching career. Sometimes I've had multilingual classes and sometimes monolingual, but this is the first time that I've shared a bit of the same language with my students. So
Oh,
I've been learning Catalan,
yes,
and so now I start to understand a bit of what they're saying, and that's
yes.
quite interesting for me, in that context. And so I have to be thinking,
Mm,
is this a moment to use a word from our shared language? Is it not? How do I encourage them to use English? Because it's a bit unnatural for them to be speaking English to each other. Like with
yes,
yours, they're a bit
exactly.
shy,
Yes, yes,
interesting.
yeah.
We have more people joining us here. Hello, Zin from Myanmar. Lovely to see you, and nice to see you again as well. Fong Vu, and we've got here, we've got Lachman, and lots of people joining us on Instagram and YouTube as well. Welcome, everybody. So, teachers, are you teaching a monolingual or a multilingual class? Do you share the same language? So, do you share the same language, Maria?
No, I don't speak any Japanese at all, but I do try to at times, because the other thing about my classes as well is that the levels tend to be a little bit mixed as well. So we have, spiky profiles in the classroom, students who have progressed more quickly than others, yet they move through the levels essentially at the same time. So it can, so you end up having students who maybe a bit stronger than others. So I do make use of the students' first language at times, to support the students who need a little bit more help as well. So yeah. Do you find the same thing as well with yours? With your
I do. I have very varied levels of English. And so we sometimes put people in groups with the varied levels so they can support each other. And we have a couple of people at the beginning of each class, I ask for them to help me with summaries. So every now and again, I'll get one student to summarize what I've been saying in their shared language to be able to, and then I can check that they've got it, or if there's a missing gap or a missing step, for example.
Nice.
So understanding your context is a little bit about our classrooms and our schools. So are you working in a school at the moment? Or is it a separate thing that you're doing?
Oh, are you asking? Are you asking me? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Because we want to hear from the teachers who have joined us as well today.
Absolutely.
So I was, So it's actually a university. It's a university language center, and and the other interesting thing about my context is as well. The other thing that I need to take into account is that the courses tend to be quite short. They're 5-week courses. The students are there. Yeah, the students are there full time. And the curriculum is set as well. So I have to get through the resources are prescribed. I'm free to adapt as within reason. I'm free to adapt, but I do need to get through a set program. So that's another thing that I need to take into account when I'm teaching. So is it the same for you?
For me, yes, and there's hi Wayam. Wayam is moderating the different channels, and so she's just asked teachers to tell us a little bit about your teaching context.
Yes, please.
For me, I'm really lucky because teaching gardening in English is a new thing in the school, and so I had free rein to make my own curriculum. and my own materials and my own ideas. So we weren't sort of following any kind of, learning outcomes or themes or goals or linking it to we've linked some to United Nations sustainability goals. And my co-teacher went and looked at everything that we've done and mapped it to aspects of the curriculum, which is amazing. And with the conversation classes, I align it to what they're doing in their course books. But it's true that we all are sort of constrained by our curriculum. But if we know the curriculum well, then we can see areas to adapt a little bit. And in ours, go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say the other thing about my context, which currently, which is different to other experiences that I've had, is that we do have quite a big team of teachers. So there's a lot of support there.
Nice.
Yes, we can share resources, we can share ideas, which hasn't always been the case. I've worked in other places where I've been literally the only teacher.
Yes, quite. Yes, same. Yes. Very lonely, and sort of very isolated. Like at the moment, I'm in a big school, and they have meetings quite regular, very regular staff meetings and training sessions. But I don't go along to those, partly because my project is a little bit. It's not the same as the main curriculum subjects. So yeah, it's a little bit different. But in other schools, I've been along to the staff meetings and had a lot of chats with teachers, and I've really, really loved that support. Like being able to share resources and ideas and things like that.
Yeah. And also the other thing that I find, because as I say, that in this language center where I work currently, we have students who have been here for many, many months. So having your colleagues being able to tell you a little bit about the students that they may have had that are coming into your class, that's actually a very useful way to find out about my learners as well. That information can be invaluable. So obviously you do your own little needs analysis at the beginning and try and find out through classroom activities a little bit more about your learners, but that information that you get from teachers who have previously had your students can just be so invaluable.
So invaluable. Yeah. Well, we've had 2 questions. We've got a question here from Zandasova on Instagram, and we've got this one here from Feritesh saying, is it possible to share materials and teaching ideas, please? And the one from Zandasova on Instagram is going, content, please. Well, that leads us very nicely, Feritesh and Zandasova, onto where can you find ideas, materials, resources, courses, webinars. So I'm just going to share the page of where you can find these things, and Maria will then talk about, I'm just going to go to the home page here.
Yeah, we have so much.
We've got so much. So let me just share my screen. Can you see that? Yes. So here is our Teaching English website, and this is the home page. And we've got, if you click here, what's happening on Teaching English, May, June, April, May, and June. Here we have some information about our theme, teacher pathways, 3 teacher pathways that include this one here, for example, getting started with understanding your content. That's a booklet, and on the front page of the booklet it has loads of resources, articles, webinars, lesson plans, ideas that you can use with your learners and yourself to help you with this topic and theme. And we have some training online courses. I'll come back to that in a minute, Maria. And we have also online webinars and events, and the first one is going to be next Friday, Understanding Your Context, and we have 2 sessions there, explaining the understanding your context, and also much more about classroom practice and practical ideas. So do sign up and join us for that. Wayam's putting the links in there now. And for the classroom, here we have lots of lesson plans, and we have some podcasts and publications. So Maria, can you tell us about the courses? There's 3 courses here.
Yes.
I'm going
Yeah.
to stop sharing my screen, but just to let everybody know, this is where they are. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for that. That's so actually we have 11 courses running at the moment. There are actually 11 courses. So I think there'll be
Yes.
something for everyone, yeah. But our 3 main courses are communication skills, how to adapt resources and creative resources for primary.
Ooh,
So
interesting.
yeah, so I'm sure there are some primary teachers here watching who
Yep.
have asked for ideas for the classroom. So that course, you will absolutely love that. That is actually, before I even start, I'd just like to say that the courses, you will find that all the courses are very, very practical. So there are, there's a little bit of theory, but there's always a lot of practical ideas that you can take with you into the classroom, activity ideas. Sometimes there's even lesson plans in there. So loads of ideas for you to take to your classroom and do with your learners. So going back to the actual courses.
I've just got a question for you.
Question? Yes. Oh, yeah.
No, it's actually Benny is saying he wants to share some strategies and techniques in teaching English as a second language to primary. So how can Benny do that? I would want to share some strategies and techniques in teaching English as a second language to primary. Well, first of all, there's a course on teaching primary. So is there a place that Benny can go to share ideas?
Oh, that would be fantastic. So, Benny, we also have a community for teachers who are, well, not necessarily only for teachers who are doing the courses. Any teacher is welcome to join. So it's a I guess it's a private. You have to join, so it's not an open group. So once you join in there, we have posts that go out at least 2 or 3 posts a day that with question prompts related to the courses. So as I say, currently we have a course related to teaching in the primary context. So there are lots of posts coming up that you can respond to with your ideas and your questions. We also have live sessions that take place in the community as well once a week, and there will be a session or 2 that will be related to teaching teaching primary learners. I can't speak today. So again, you can come along. We always share lots of ideas, and we encourage the people watching to also share their ideas. So we would love, Benny, to hear from you. If you want to join our community, we'd love to have you there.
And we've just got another question also from YouTube. Are webinars live on this channel too? Yes, they are. All our webinars are live streamed to Facebook and YouTube. And so you can find them there. And there's another question and this one here. Are you saving this video onto YouTube? Yes, we are. So you can go back and watch it again later. Okay, so...
Someone's asked actually, how do we join the community?
Yes, okay, Elias, I'll come back to your question in a minute. How do you join, Maria?
So someone's actually, I think, just based on what I've been talking about, someone's actually asked, how do we join the community?
Natasha, how do I join the community?
Yeah.
How do they join the community?
Well, perhaps we could put the link in. Is that possible?
That would be great. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe Wham can put the link into the the Facebook community. But if they can't, how would you find it in general?
Oh, well, actually, the link to the community is actually in the courses as well. It should be somewhere on the website too, I believe. But but they definitely in the courses, the link should be there, because we invite everybody who's doing the courses to join the community, because it's a great resource. It's a great way to support the learning that you do on the courses. Yeah.
I think I can show you here. Is there? Yes. So if you go to our website and go to the courses, you'll find links there, or you can also search for, what's the name of the group?
So it's I've now forgotten the name of it. Courses for Teachers Facebook community. Yeah.
Courses for Teachers Facebook community, and you'll be able to search for it on Facebook that way. So I hope that's answered your questions there. So Maria, you were just telling us a little bit about the
well, let me talk a little bit about the creative resources for primary course, because it seems that we've got quite a few primary teachers here today.
Yes, so it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yes. So you will all love that. It's full of, as I say, ideas, practical ideas for being creative in the classroom with your learners. How to use puppets, how to use masks, how to use books, how to get your learners to create all these things as well. So creating zigzag books, how to use flashcards in many different ways. So there's loads of ideas there for teachers to take into the classrooms and actually create activities around not just you using them in the classroom, but getting your learners to actually create them and make them, because as we know, young learners need to develop, especially the very young learners need to develop those motor skills. So so we take that into account, and there are lots of ideas around that on the course as well.
Fantastic. Now, just very briefly, can you tell us a little bit about it was the communication one, because you said that you've just done that and it's really exciting. And while you're telling us about that, I am just going to post the link on Instagram.
Okay, great. Yes.
Link,
so the other course, so I absolutely love all the courses, but there's another very amazing course called Communication Skills, and I highly recommend that, because it's actually been a real eye opener for me. This course, because it's actually about how to really teach your learners to communicate. So it starts off by really defining and outlining what does dialogue actually mean? What does dialogue mean? So what does dialogue actually mean to you all here? What do you think that actually means, dialogue? So for me, I actually just would have probably answered very simply, like getting learners to communicate and talk to each other.
I would say like having like a role play.
Yeah, like role plays, for example, but actually it goes much deeper than that. And this course will covers all that. And again, as I say, there's activities there, but it's all about how to get your learners to actually really listen to each other and to engage in respectful communication with others. So it's not just about how to get your ideas across and make sure that you're able to express yourself. Obviously, that's all very important, but it actually teaches us teachers how to teach our students how to really engage in respectful interaction with others. And a member of our community, the one that I just talked about, actually responded to one of our posts recently and said that for her, dialogue is fantastic if it's based on listen, hear, and don't judge rule.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So it's all about actually listening and really hearing and really wanting to know and understand what the person that you're talking to is saying. And
brilliant.
Yeah. So you'll learn all about that on the course.
You sure will.
Sorry, Karen.
No. That's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to bring up a question actually here before we move on. This is from YouTube subscriber. I'm struggling with helping students to learn vocabulary. Are there effective ways to guide them to study vocabulary, or any activities I can use in the classroom, or any methods that work that you recommend? Well, there are many. And in the primary course, is there a section on learning vocabulary?
Oh, yeah. The way the primary course is structured is more around, I guess what you call resource type. So puppets. So one of the units is around puppets and masks. Another unit is around flashcards. So that, yeah. So I guess vocabulary will be covered in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, if your learners are primary learners, that you'll definitely get ideas from that course.
Another place to go is, we have a page on Teaching English that is a collection of vocabulary activities. So things like using flashcards. But I think for me, the thing that helps my students the most is, like we're talking about context, is using words in context. And so when you learn a new word, make a sentence that is about yourself. And that really helps to learn vocabulary, and also to make it fun, turn it into games, teamwork,
Yes.
like races.
And recycling.
And recycling.
Yes. So speaking of my students again,
Yeah.
so we're always playing games with the vocabulary that we've learned on the course. So
yeah.
I get them to write their words, the new words that they've learned at the end of the lesson. We put them into a little box, and over the course, that box fills up, and so every week we have more and more word cards to play games with.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Yeah,
because I think, when I was learning a language, it helped me as the teacher realize the value of recycling and repeating.
Yeah.
That, we need to hear the words more and more often and use them. I just wanted to bring up a couple of comments about what you were talking about, dialogue, Maria. This is from Natasha about expressing themselves.
Yes.
Who also really likes the don't judge rule.
Yes. Don't be judgmental. So actually listen and really want to understand what the other person is saying. I love that about the course.
Yeah, that's really
Yes.
lovely. And the dialogue is sharing ideas and listening to each other, just what you said, like Rania is saying, and listen to each other. Yeah. And yes, okay, and great. So I just wanted to also, on the courses, there's a course that's been updated. Yeah, there's been a course that's been updated, the gender course, and so we had a couple of questions in our inbox asking about whether it's worth doing the course again if you've already done it, and the answer is yes. And the updated sections there's more of a focus on practical classroom ideas, taking the learning from the course and implementing it into your own classroom. There's also a section on learner perspectives on gender, and AI and digital tools, and looking at bias within the AI and digital tools, along with a whole school approach. And there's a section that includes conversations and dialogue, like you were talking about dialogue, and opening up conversations with boys and men, as well as women and girls. So it's a whole approach. So, yes.
No, I was going to say, I forgot to mention our other new course as well, How to Adapt Resources.
Oh, yes.
Which I think would be very of interest to a lot of teachers here as well. So that covers things like how to make the most of your course books, how to find value in your course books and how to adapt them for your learners, because I know a lot of us have to use course books.
Yes.
Yeah. So lots of
and
ideas.
I think that links very nicely to the understanding your context theme, because if you know your course book and your curriculum, you also know the places that you can adapt a little bit to your own students' needs, or the sort of main learning outcomes that you need to achieve, and you can find different routes to get there. So we will be exploring this theme over the next 3 months, asking you questions, giving you information, resources, more ways to develop your understanding and resources with your students. And also, for me, it's about like sort of opening your eyes and noticing a little bit, looking in your classroom and going, let me sort of, have a think about what is going on in the classroom. So keep with us over the next few months and join in the conversation. Maria, what are you looking forward to about this theme of understanding your context?
So I'm actually looking forward to in the community, which I've already talked. I'm just going to give it another plug because I hope to see I hope that a lot of you will join us over there. So it's a British Council Courses for Teachers community. Just looking forward to finding out actually more about other teachers' contexts and actually just encouraging and seeing other teachers share ideas with each other. So yeah. So I'd love to see a lot of that, and I'd love to see a lot of you there over at our Facebook group as well very soon.
Excellent. And do stay with us on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels, where we will also be posting resources and questions, polls, assets, videos. So between the two of us, lots and lots of places to get some information and share your ideas as well. So this is great. Here we go. This is from Isolda. Thank you. We'll keep an eye on the upcoming events. Yes, do go ahead and register for the Zoom webinars for next Friday. So I think that's all for us. Oh, I'm looking forward to.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask.
That's okay.
I need to learn dialogue.
Yes, I do too a little bit. I'm looking forward to finding out more about where all of you work, because I think it's really interesting to hear different contexts and different experiences and then go, oh, can I apply that in my classroom? Would it work for me? Some things that I do may or may not work for others. And we all have these amazing ideas when we're in the classroom or thinking about our teaching. And then, so being able to share those practical examples and insights. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I just one last thing, but recently a colleague said to me, Maria, we're lucky if we have electricity in our classrooms sometimes, and that's things that you take for granted, and you don't even.
Sure.
Yeah. So to be able to share these like the uniqueness of our context and to. Just be able to support each other with that, I think.
Absolutely. And I think, like you just said, with the, maybe there's no electricity or no windows or something, then that's also, I can appreciate what I have and, in my class and help, and we can all help each other go, well, we all have something amazing in our classrooms.
That's right. Yeah.
There's a quick question here from about, so Lee, what other ways of teaching vocabulary without using flashcards? I'm going to reshare a post of where you can find all our fantastic vocabulary activities. Some are with flashcards and many are not. And some are just using the board, low resources. Okay, and yes. So thank you everybody so much for joining us. Have a lovely weekend. If you're teaching, happy teaching. If you've got some days off, have a wonderful rest. And we will see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, Maria, for taking the time to join us.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.